Welcome back to Happy Chappa. So this is about meditation. Um, Opening up awareness of everything, but especially what's going on in the mind. And so in meditation, what we like to look at is we're bringing ourselves away from the monkey mind. And so the monkey mind is a place where we hold ourselves in multiple thoughts, bouncing from one thought to another thought to another thought, while unconsciously aware of the actions that we are carrying out from them thoughts. And so what you might find is people talking about your subconscious is what you're running off, which would be the majority of thoughts that you would carry out in your everyday experiences within time and what you're influenced by. And so what you would find is them thoughts would gather in bundles of relating thoughts and bring them to your consciousness. And with that, you will carry out actions through how you feel about them. And so while you believe that you are carrying out actions because you choose to, you're carrying out the actions because of the pattern that you've created within who you are in body. In body's memory of, in the subconscious memory of the experiences that you've carried that body through. And so what you might find is you get stuck somewhere, or you're doing things that repeat themselves, or you can't get out of a place that you want to get out of because you're stuck in that pattern. And so how to change that is get away from the monkey mind, which where meditation comes in and shows you exactly who you are and how you are thinking by bringing that awareness to the surface. So all your thoughts are down here and you're up here following what these thoughts shoot up to you, so you remember the cycle to follow that pattern. But unaware of the thoughts down here that's controlling all that. And so when you shut off the monkey mind, it's shooting from thought to thought as these thoughts shoot up here for you to think about. All these thoughts are still controlling you in this frequency that they hold. So when they're holding the frequency that you lay in body, you will carry out experiences that are very similar in the same frequency that you've always carried out in that subconscious memory that you hold in these thoughts down here, which can be caused through trauma in experiences that we've had in our life, the difficult experiences of our life, that has caused impact for us to have that memory. Not only for us to have that memory, for all the thoughts that came with that memory and all the feelings. It became a virus, so to speak, within you, holding you back from growing in that awareness of yourself. And so when you meditate, you don't just stick in these thoughts up here that is shooting up from down here. Every time thoughts are shooting up, you're letting them pass by. Not judging them, just letting them pass by, seeing them for what they are. You may see reflections of other ways that things could have been and how you've seen it in them moments of thought that would arise as you settle that mind, settle that awareness of your consciousness. And so what you will find is you'll get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until you reach that subconsciousness of all them thoughts that is running you. And when you reach the subconscious of all them thoughts, you're going to find out who you truly are in the programming that you've created for yourself. I'm not saying to be scared of it, but this is what you are running away from. Because when you go in there, you're going to see your truth. You're going to see that you've been fooling yourself in the patterns that you've been creating in trauma. And the more you stay in the subconscious and not judging it, but seeing it for what it is, you will start to see the patterns of why you do what you do. And that it's not you thinking in your moment of thought, thinking that you're doing it because you choose to do it in that moment of thought. It's because you choose to have them thoughts in your subconscious, them cycle of thoughts and feelings that go with them thoughts. And so you create a cycle. And when you see all them cycles that you've created, you will start understanding why you do what you do. You will start to see what works for you and what hasn't been working for you. And while you see it all there in your subconscious, you will also be able to see, for example, if you find something that doesn't work for you. A trauma, for example. And that trauma has led to thoughts about this, thoughts about that, and it leads you to act in a certain way. You will see that trauma. Now, you can stop meditating about it and forget about it, but you will still be stuck in that cycle. And because it's trauma, you won't want to look at it because it hurts. But when you face it and look at it and see it for what it is, you must remember that's not what is, it's what was. And you have already got past that to be here now. That you are looking at a past version of you that you've already overcome. And when you can see it in that way, these traumas that may be in your subconscious start to disappear. They start to disappear because you see a new way of looking at it. And so what you held once in your subconscious memory that was painful through that trauma, you start to see that trauma was an experience for you to learn from, which you have already passed and grown into be who you are today. And because you start seeing it that way, you start feeling better in you because you've overcome it. You now know you've overcome it. While beforehand, you never knew that you overcome it because you always seen it in a certain way of just that trauma, of what happened. We'll never looked at why it happened, or never looked at how you've moved forward from it. And when you do look at it and see how you've moved forward from it, you're going to feel good because you know that you've overcome it, because you know now that you've looked at it, you were looking at it in a way of pain. And that pain is no longer because you've already moved forward from it. It was something that was an experience that happened to you. So you could learn to move forward in a stronger version of you, which you already are. But you're battling with yourself because you hold it in memory that you're not, in the pain that you see in that trauma. And so once you face that trauma in the pain and see that you've overcome it already, then that pain starts to be released. And so all the thoughts that is related to that starts to release. And you start clearing space in your subconscious to bring in something more, something good, which is your version of overcoming yourself, being stronger in who you are, being better in who you are. So when you go back to you look at your trauma, you see yourself, see a version of yourself, and tell that version of yourself in who that person was at that time that it's okay, that you have already overcome this, not to hold on any longer, that it's okay, that you are stronger. This was just an experience for you to grow stronger. That's not taken away from what happened. It's getting a more wider understanding of why. And what you would find is, through your experiences of life, you guide yourself into them experiences by this subconsciousness. And so you come into an experience and something goes wrong, and you blame it on somebody else. Instantly, you're refusing to look at your subconsciousness. You're refusing to look at why you, as the physical, got into that situation. You're forgetting to go backwards, to look at the subconscious, the cycle that created you to be in whatever cycle that you were in at that time that got you to that place. And so when you go backwards, you start to see why you are where you are at. Now, as I say, focusing, you don't have to just think of, oh, if I need to meditate, I need to sit down and I need to close my eyes and I need to be stillness. I'm not saying that, but it is a good place to start. Take a minute or two and do that. But you can do it with your eyes open. You can do it focused. Focusing on something. Now, your eyes could be open, but you're not seeing anything. You're just seeing everything. But what's in? By focusing on a thought or a vibration that you're feeling. And while you're focused on that feeling and the thoughts that's coming up with that feeling, you can see why you're feeling in that way. You can see why you're thinking in that way. And you can learn to redirect them thoughts and feelings while changing that cycle into more positive. Of course, that's if you're in a negative. And yet if you're in a positive, you will learn to add more things to that positive to reach to higher awareness of where you're at, to be in the future version of you. Always moving forward and lifting yourself up from the past of the cycles that was in the subconscious. Because if we just keep the subconscious the same all the time, we're just going to be stuck in the same cycles. And so while meditating, we will focus on ourselves. Focus on how we're feeling, how we're thinking. Being aware of that. Why? We need to be questioning, why am I feeling this way? Why am I thinking this way? What can I think about which would be better? But you must dive deep. You must dive deep into them thoughts to see why you're feeling that way that you're feeling. Because even if you take yourself away to something else, it's only going to come back again because they're in your subconscious mind. The starting block for all your thinking and feeling. And so you will always be running in them cycles until you get aware of your subconscious and start changing them patterns that will be more suitable to what you desire in the future version of you. And then you can bring that about into your life as you will magnetize it from vibrating in who you are And so you will be attracted to what's good for you, while all that's good for you in awareness or in consciousness will be vibrating to come towards you in that magnetism, in the physical, which is where we have two magnets and they're pulling together instead of pushing apart. But while we're not aware of our thoughts and feelings, what we'll find is that the cycles that we are in and what we would desire in the future version of us is like the two magnets pushing apart. Because we're stuck in that cycle, that we're in a vibration that's here, and the vibration we want to be in is up here. And because we're stuck in this cycle, and this cycle is up here, what you find is if they come anywhere close together, they push apart again. They can never come together until we change that low vibrational cycle into the same way of thinking as the high vibrational cycle. So you will find the two magnets will pull together in the one cycle. So you'll find this in the vibration of your physical being as one magnet, and whatever you're putting into that vibration coming to you in the physical form of how you're vibrating in what you believe. And we do this every day in how we're thinking and feeling, and how we carry that out in the actions that we carry out. So if we're feeling negative, it's got something to do with how we are carrying ourselves physically, and how that physical feeling is bringing thoughts and emotions within us and impacting the outcome of that vibration, whether it's low or high. And so meditation will bring that awareness about why we are vibrating in the vibration that we are vibrating in. Of course, this isn't me telling you to do it. It's me telling you if you want to change, if you want to be a better version of you, then you must reflect back at you. You must bring yourself to that meditation state, wherever you are, eyes open, eyes closed, it does not matter. In motion, walking, being consciously aware of how you're feeling. It's not stillness all the time, but it's awareness of who you are as consciousness. Of course, stillness is another version of meditation, which will take the body away from everything. But you must become aware of the body and the memories and the conscious awareness of your feelings and thoughts from reactions of the world that is impacted in memory for you to observe that you can't switch off because you have that body. And so once you're consciously aware, whether it's a walk in the woods or in the beach, or whether you're sitting having a cup of tea or chatting to someone, consciously being aware of how you're feeling and thinking in them moments is meditation. We are meditating all the time, but by being aware of it, going deeper into that meditation, by being more aware of who we are and how that vibration is affecting everything outside of us, that we want to bring that higher vibration in us to bring ourselves into a higher vibration of things that surround us. And of course, it all starts in here, in our way of thinking. Of course, imagining the thoughts is in our brain or in our mind. I'd like to think of it as in our brain, as that go out and come back into us in a vibration, which flows through the body as we breathe in that vibration. And we release it in our breath. Of course, as usual, just my view. You may want to transmute this into your own way of thinking, which is what it's for. I'm not telling you to do everything as I say. I'm telling you to use it. Use it to benefit you and how it's best for you. Maybe you want to sit down and be still in that moment. Maybe you like to move and be aware at that time. Whatever suits you, whatever place you like to go, whatever makes you feel good or be aware of you, and whatever experience that is, take yourself to that experience. Don't hold it back from yourself, because why would you? You know it's good. You know it feels good. So take yourself to that experience and be aware of who you are and why you're experiencing them. What's happening in them experiences? What's happening in how you're thinking and feeling in them experiences that makes it feel so good? And when you put that into memory and lock it into your subconscious, push it down, then that's a new cycle that you're creating. And that will create more and more positive thoughts towards where you want to go in that future. Okay, this Happy Chopper, love and peace.